Hello, my name is GRAE. I'm a singer-songwriter from Toronto, Ontario, and I just released my album Whiplash, my debut album Whiplash, on April 15th. Whiplash is an album that encapsulates the up and down roller coaster of emotions I was feeling while recording. So the happy, sad, nostalgic, coming of age, love, loss. It explores the ins and outs of relationships I was experiencing at the time, and what I was trying to cope with when they ended. You have songs like Spinning, which are about my dad and how special that relationship is to me. And then you have all the rest of the songs on the album that are about love and loss and heartbreak and all of that. Starting off with Boxes. This song is about the realization that you're growing older. Things aren't what they used to be. You're feeling nostalgic. You're in your bedroom looking around at the posters you have on your wall and you're like, wow, I want to mature from this. I woke up one day and I just looked around, and I've always been somebody that loves music and like idolizes artists and bands. And I have always had posters on my walls, and I was like, I want to tear them down. And it was a really sad moment for me personally, just because of how much I always thought I would be that kid with like the graphic tees on and the posters on the wall. Spinning, I wrote about my dad. It's about the memories that we shared after my mom had actually passed away. And it's a super special one for me. Probably the most special song on the album. It was around the time that my dad was losing his own father that I decided to write this song. And it was kind of like seeing him lose his dad made me realize how special my own like dad is to me. So I wrote this song as kind of like a gift to him. And so it's a really special one. So I wrote Soft at the very start of a new relationship I was experiencing. And that's what the whole song is about. It's about those butterfly feelings and how that person makes you feel at the beginning of something. So yeah, no longer in that relationship, but that's okay. It's all right. So Room in the Desert. I just went into the session and I was like, I have no inspiration. I want to write a song about nothing from nothing, because it was during quarantine, and during that time trying to write an album with no real life experiences. Like I wasn't traveling. I wasn't really doing anything. I was stuck at home, as was the rest of the world. So I remember going into some sessions just crying, like saying, I don't know what I want. I don't know who I am. I'm so confused. I don't know what I want to write. And Room in the Desert was actually a product of that breakdown. So we created this song, and it ended up just being really cool. It's a trippy track, and the lyrics can mean whatever the listener wants them to. I try not to, put myself in that position to tell people what something should mean to them. I create the art, and then it becomes the people's. So whatever they want it to, relate back to, that's for them to decide. Like You. So this song, it kind of breaks my heart. It's another song that I didn't really want to release because I thought it was too vulnerable, which is very weird because I am a very vulnerable and openly emotional person. And with Like You, I actually wrote it about predetermining, I don't know if that's the right word, but a breakup. Like I was with somebody, but I knew it wasn't going to last. So that's what Like You is about. And that's why I didn't want to release it, because I was still with them when I released it. And they actually came to the music video shoot for it and didn't know that the song was about them. And it was very awkward because I'm there like crying, like on this video shoot, and like the person I knew, the relationship wasn't going to last, was like coming to support me. And it was a really awkward kind of encounter, but I wrote it when I was just feeling really down. And it's kind of about a relationship you don't think you should be in anymore because you don't like yourself, and you need to love yourself first before you can take care of anyone else. And that pain kind of swallowed me. And then I spat it back out as a song. And yeah. And then the last track of the album is Don't Know How to Girlfriend. And this is a very intimate track. We decided to end the album off with like a more acoustic vibe. And I was in a new relationship, and I always got anxious and insecure because I didn't know how to girlfriend. And I was like, how do you do this? I felt really weird about it. And I was like, does this person even really like me? Are they going to leave? How do I just do this and be a girlfriend? And I came into the session And I was just talking about my relationship issues. And when I had mentioned, I don't know how to girlfriend, Willa was like, that's a song. And so we wrote it, and it ended up being really cool and just a great way to end off the album. But I guess with Whiplash, I knew with whatever project I created after the Permanent Maniac EP, I wanted it to have that like new wave indie type of vibe I was going for, The Cure being my primary influence, which I mention them in every interview. So I'm just trying to manifest it for myself, but I didn't actually know I was creating an album. So I didn't really get into that type of creative headspace of like, okay, I need this to all sonically sound the same. It actually just happened because I found my sound. And that's something that from New Girl to Permanent Maniac to Whiplash, I was really struggling with. And I wrote Spinning and Soft. Those were the first songs off of it. And I decided that, this should be an album and I should really put my focus into figuring out who GRAE is, to put out there into the world. And I knew I wanted it to fit sonically. Like I knew I would have wanted that regardless. But a debut album is a big deal. It's a really cool thing. And I've always been a bit confused on my music identity, like I just touched on. So I took a vibe, I stuck with it for the album's sake, and which in return, that just helped me find myself a bit more. So that's Whiplash.